Hi, I'm Stefan, the BMW DIY guy, and do you want to improve the intake in your BMW X3? I'll show you how. All right, guys, so let's talk about this project a little bit and the reasons why you're going to want to do this on your car. So this is going to be a cold air intake from Dinan upgrade here on this BMW G01 X3. This will work on the entire range of the G01. And this is part of the Experience package. So make sure to check out all the other videos that go along with this for this badge-worthy upgrade, which I absolutely love. I've been a fan of Dinan for as long as I've loved the BMW brand, and I'm really excited to do this upgrade. This is really straightforward. We'll only take a few simple tools. I'll walk you through the whole process. So let's open the hood, let's get started. All right, so the B58 only has one intake, so we're just going to take it out on this side. We need to take the original OEM out. We're going to use one of the components off of this, and we need to pull the MAF air sensor off and a few other things. To get this out conveniently, we really need to remove this engine brace right here. Now, in my case, mine looks a little bit different than yours, but it's just as easy to take out. I also have the Downstar kit, so this is an 8mm Allen to take the bolts out on either side. If I remember correctly, they're 13mm bolts at either end. So just pull those out, and then you can pull this engine brace bar out. So let me get this removed, and I'll show you how to take the intake out next. All right, so the first thing we want to do is unplug the MAF sensor. There's this little white locking tab on this, and sometimes this is kind of hard to pull back, which mine is right now. So you can use a pick tool to kind of gently pick this back. So you'll pick this back and then press down on the white tab because that lifts a little internal lock on that plug. And if it fights you at all, like you're pressing down on it, still doesn't want to come off, you can use a right angle pick here to actually get underneath that little locking tab right there and lift it, and then the whole plug will come off. So go ahead and unplug your MAF here. Also, take out the T20 right here. This connects this extra resonator box to your intake. So take out that T20 because then it'll be separate. Once that's done, right here, you should see the top of your worm drive. You can either use, I think it's an 8mm if I remember correctly, or just a flat screwdriver to undo this worm drive. And then you can take this box and just rock it back and forth and pick it out. Really simple. All right, with the intake box out, we can see it was sitting on these 3 feet, and we've got the rest of the pipe that we need to take out next. So if you look down right down here at the base right here, you'll see another worm drive. So you just want to back that off, and then this flexible pipe plus this additional little resonator box will come off next. That'll expose the lower connection, the lower inlet pipe down to the turbo, which has a horseshoe clip on it or one of those big round clips on it. I'll show you that when we get there. But take that worm drive off and then go ahead and take this inlet pipe out next. All right, so all is left is the last of your inlet pipe right here that you can see moving. And if you look down here, you'll see the silver right there. Right there, you'll see it is that typical kind of C-shaped C-clip or horseshoe clip, whatever you want to call it. And it slides in from this direction. So you want to use a pick tool, reach in there, get a hold of it, and pick that, pull that out, and then take this inlet pipe off. So really straightforward. All right, so the last thing to do to get your inlet pipe out is it has an evaporation hose on it, which is right here. So this is that typical BMW design where you feel the little textured parts on the side. You squeeze that, which will lift the locking tab on the top and bottom, and you can very carefully work this off. Now, a couple of things about these. They tend to be fragile, so be really careful. Try not to crank on them too hard. Also, in addition, if you have to, these locking tabs, like I said, there's one on top, one on bottom. You can slide very gently a pick tool underneath, because as I squeeze on this, you can see that tab is not coming up at all, right? There is a little bit. But you can use a pick tool to get underneath that to get that tab to lift and then gently work this off. Don't crank super hard on this. Breaking this evaporation hose is really a hassle. So be very careful getting this unplugged from the hose. All right, so go ahead and get that off and pull out your inlet pipe. All right, so we have the inlet pipe off, including getting that evaporation hose disconnected. Now, with this kit, I have both the intake and the new carbon fiber inlet pipe from Dinan. So this is where you might have a little bit of differences depending on your car between a Gen 1 B58 motor and a Gen 2. So if you have a Gen 1, what you're going to do is here in the bottom of the inlet, you're going to see there's a gasket right there. You're going to want to very carefully take that gasket out and put it into the matching groove here on the new inlet pipe. Really straightforward. If you have a Gen 2, then you actually need the inlet fix kit, which is a new inlet gasket and a new C-clamp right here that you're going to use on the new pipe. Now, the other thing that I've done is, because it's much easier to do now, your flexible coupling here, your rubber couple pipe that goes onto the pipe, I've actually put that on early because it's harder to do after the fact. So it's a lot easier to put on now, get it nice and secure, make sure that your hose clamp is on straight. You're not trying to do it all down here in the motor, you can do it up here. It makes the job much easier. So go ahead and put that on now. Go ahead and transfer the gasket if you're going to transfer it, or install the new one. What I'll often do, and if you need a little bit of oil, you can usually just run your finger around the inside of this pipe, get a little bit of oil to put it on the gasket to make it easier to put on. Okay, so go ahead and get that into place. We'll get this new inlet pipe installed. All right, so once you have the gasket transferred, and again, I usually take a little bit of residue oil from the previous one and I put it on the gasket so it'll slide onto the turbo a little bit easier, right? So you don't have bare rubber against metal. Now, with your C-clip or horseshoe clip, whatever you want to call it, I will usually test fit these in place to get a sense of how they fit onto the pipe. So that would be a locked position, right? So the pipe would be down here with the PCV valve hose on it like this right here, and you've got your C-clip. So you can do it one of two ways. You can either kind of have the clip sort of half on, sitting on the pipe without the feet through the holes, kind of like this as you feed it down, and then slide it all up into place, or just fit the pipe into place and then just work the clip in later. I tend to like the work in later plan because that way I don't knock this off and suddenly drop it and I've got to chase this somewhere in the motor. The other thing that can help as well is just stick your hand in the pipe. Stick your hand in the pipe and work it down. Make sure that it fits in really securely, fits over the top of the turbo. So when you get that C-clip on, I'll put my hand back in here and I'll pull to make sure that it's locked in place and doesn't come off. All right, so go ahead and test fit it first and then get your C-clip back on. All right, so one quick point I wanted to share. So if you have to use the inlet fix kit and the new gasket, when you put the gasket in, the gasket essentially has a ridge on it or a flange, and that flange can either be facing outward or facing inward to the pipe. You want it facing inward. So it's a smooth surface looking inward. That will help it slide into place. If you have it reversed, this isn't going to fit in right. It won't mate all the way back to the back of the turbo, and you won't be able to put the locking clip on because this won't get on far enough, right? Okay, so make sure that that little lip on it is pointing inward into the pipe when you put that on. So go ahead and take this, reinstall it, put your PCV pipe back on. So install this, get your PCV pipe locked back into place, and then we can start putting on the rest of the intake. All right, y'all, so this is why you wanted to put this boot on early, because you can see right now it's going to be harder to get to. So it's a really good idea to put that boot on early, and your hose clamp is going to be straight. Now that said, hard to see down here, but you can see the new C-clip or horseshoe clip there on the bottom and snapped into place. Make sure that each arms are snapped into the holes, and the middle one goes into the slot as well. And I always test this. And if you can get your hand into it, so much the better. I just get my hand into it and pull on it, because if it's locked into place, it won't come off. And if it's not locked into place, it'll come off really easily. So that way you make sure you don't do all this work, and then first time you fire your car up, overboost pressure, pops that pipe off. So make sure your PCV pipe on this side is pressed into place with that locking collar in. You should be good to go there. This is set up. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start building our new Dinan airbox with the bottom of the old one. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is transfer your MAF sensor. These are T20s. Be very careful with your MAF sensor. They can be a little bit fragile. So when you take this out, go ahead and take this, and we're going to transfer it to the new pipe in a second, but go ahead and take it out now. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to take the top off the OEM airbox. So these T20s here all the way around, just loosen those T20s. They're captured screws, so they usually will come with the lid. They'll come off with the lid, but go ahead and take that off, and that will leave the bottom of the intake that we're going to use with the new lid. All right, so we've got our airbox split apart. This is the top of the lid. This is the bottom. We're going to take this air filter out. This is a great opportunity. If you have any debris in the bottom of your air filter box, go ahead and clean that out. And then we're going to start assembling the new pieces. So this being the new inlet pipe here, as you can tell, this is where the MAF is going to go. The orientation, the MAF really only goes in one orientation, and you're not going to reuse the T20s you took out of the OEM. The new kit has small little M4 bolts, you're going to use those M4 bolts and screw that into place. It just has to be snug. So go ahead and transfer your MAF filter, or excuse me, your MAF sensor into the pipe. Now, in addition, you're going to mount this pipe onto the new top of the airbox. You're going to use the other 4 of those silver bolts that they included. So you'll insert the pipe into the lid here. You'll put the 4 bolts on. So you'll have a flat washer, I think a crinkle washer, and then the bolt to help hold this all into place and put this into one solid piece. So go ahead and get all of that done, and then we're going to look about getting this mounted into place and getting the airbox back in place. All right, so the lid is off. We're going to talk about that in just a second. Here is the bottom of the OEM box that we keep because it uses all of this ducting to guide air and out of the front intakes as well. Go ahead and clean this out if it's a little bit dirty, and we're going to set it back down in here on its feet. I'm just going to set it here for now. So the new lid, we've gone ahead and assembled it as I mentioned. So we've taken the new bolts that we've put in, and it's that little small crinkle washer and then a big washer as you put each one of those bolts into place. The crinkle washers help keep these bolts tight. These are 2.5 millimeter Allen. So you're going to use a 2.5 millimeter Allen wrench to put these bolts in. Same thing, you use the remaining 2 to put the MAF sensor in place, which, like I said, only goes in one orientation. So the last thing we want to do before we put the new box in place and put the new lid in place is we're going to want to put the air filter on as well. Now, it's only going to go in one position, because when you look at this on how it fits the box, you see the metal seam, that's going to point down. So it's already got a hose clamp on it, which is really, really nice right here. So we're just going to slide this over the inlet hose, or inlet pipe here, excuse me, with the metal seam downward in the box. And then this is going to be ready to go. And we're going to get all of this put back together, and we're almost done. Okay, so the lower inlet box, go ahead and just slide it back into place. There are the 3 feet and the 3 rubber grommets, 1, 2, 3. You can see they're orange. Sometimes they come off on the bottom of the box. If they did, pull them off and then slide them back into place here. So when this box goes in, it goes back in very, very secure and nice in place. So that's just going to go down into those rubber feet. Now the lid, you've got the screws all the way around the outside. These are captured screws normally, so back them all the way out. We are going to reuse all the screws around the top of the OEM lid here on the new one. The one difference though is with these screws, there are new rubber gaskets in the kit that we're going to install. So when we screw these into place into the OEM bottom, we're not going to fracture or break our carbon. Okay, so go ahead and get the base reset, because the one thing we want to do before we put this into place, we want to get this set down into our gasket down here at the bottom. All right, and get that all set in. We also have a hose clamp we need to put there as well. So let me get that all set up. All right, so I've got the top into place, and I'm going to walk you through what I did because it's easier to explain it than show it. So whatever, the inlet pipe into the rubber coupler, right? Dry rubber, dry carbon fiber, which means they're going to stick to each other really easily. So what I will always do is I will take a light film of oil and put a light film of oil around the outside of the pipe, of the carbon fiber pipe. So that way it's slippery when it goes into place. I've already got the hose gasket in place. The worm drive is on this side. I'll show you here in a second, but we can see it from the back side to tighten it down. So I slid the hose clamp in place, just right there, you can see it. And then I very gently work the pipe down so it sits down into place, and you'll feel it where it'll slide into the rubber right there really easily. And you can see it's already pretty much in the proper position. It actually needs to come back up just a little bit to lock into the lower airbox, right? But you slide it down into place, and in a place where you can get to the worm drive, which either would be on this side where you can see it, but I actually think that's harder to get to with a tool than actually the back side right here, where it's hard to see on camera, but I can see it really easily when I put my head down there. So the worm drive is on the back side right now. So once you have the pipe slid into place, and then make sure that your worm drive, or excuse me, that your hose clamp and the worm drive is even around the outside. You don't want it tipped or lopsided at all. Okay, so slide this into place, line it up with the lid really nicely, just like that. So now you know that the pipe itself is in the right place here because it's lined up with the bottom lid. Okay, so I'm going to actually put these screws in first. Remember the rubber gaskets all the way around, because then that's secure. We know that's in the right place. And then I'm going to reach around from the backside and tighten that worm drive down, or tighten the hose clamp down. Now, lastly, remember, you don't have to go bananas on those hose clamps. You're just to it so it's secure. If you crank too hard, you could potentially crack your carbon fiber, which would be a bummer, right? So just snug, guys. So screws all the way around, hose clamp on the back side, and then go ahead and plug in your MAF sensor right here. At that point, we're almost done. All right, so the airbox is secure and just snug on the 5 screws all the way around, right? You don't need to crank on it. It's just holding this really, very light lid on. You crank on too hard and those metal bolts will strip out the plastic, which would really suck. Go ahead and put your MAF sensor back in, plug it in right here. Make sure that when you press it in until it clicks, and then that little white locking tab is going to be on the bottom now, but press it into place until it clicks and then snap that little white locking tab in place. So really the only thing that's left is the hose clamp here that I can get my hand on, and if you get your head down right here, you can see it to hold our pipe in place. So again, just to snug, I'm going to get a long screwdriver on it and tighten it down. So at that point, your new airbox is in, your inlet pipe's in, everything's done, and the last thing you're going to do is put your engine brace bar back on here. So again, the 13s are 15 millimeter bolts, if I remember correctly. Go ahead and put that on, and at that point, you're all done. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done, but this is fantastic. All right, y'all, all done. This looks absolutely fantastic. I love having this in my car. This looks really good. So go ahead and clean up, put your tools away. Good job. All right, guys, all done. You can tell this really isn't a hard project. There's only a few places where you need to be a little bit careful while you do the work, but you can absolutely do this yourself and be part of that Dinan Experience package that you can get for your X3. Make sure to check out all the rest of the videos in this series. I love this kit and I cannot wait to put the Dinan badge on the back of my car. Thank you to Dinan for making such fantastic products that are so easy to work with. I really appreciate them. Please make sure to click like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and it makes a huge difference to my channel. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on my next video.